Hi, it's Sandra here from Creating Spain, and I wanted to do a little bit on adding some texture and sparkle to your backgrounds. I'm a great fan of using my cutting machine to make my own stencils, and I thought I'd do a little bit on this because the last time I did one on stencils was quite a while ago. This is a thin plastic dinner mat picked up in a cheap shop. And it's cut quite a few stencils for me so far. And this is the ideal thickness if you want to do embossing with it, embossing paste or texture paste, whatever you like to call it, for backgrounds. This stuff, which is just from a document folder, is too thin. It's great if you just want to do a painted design, but it's too thin if you want to get any texture on it. Got a piece here somewhere. Here we go. And this basically is the result that you will get. There is no texture to that. I might as well have just painted dots on. Okay, no texture. Pretty, but no texture. So if you use this, you get a much better result. This is one that I did with some texture paste, and I've done it in gold and silver. And these just stand a little bit proud of the card. They're not really high, but they do have some texture to them. And the paste that I used was one that I got in a stack of them that I bought from Aldi or Lidl. I think it might have been Lidl. So they are German made by Marabou. And this is the clear one. I have it in silver. I have it in gold. I have some that I've decanted into a jar which is plain white. And it did come with one which was like a rough white texture, and I didn't like it, so I gave that to my hubby to use. So you can do that, and that's really quite nice. This is a flower stencil that I made and used, and again it's got quite a nice texture. And this one I tinted some of my plain white with some watercolour and made it a very pale blue, and I've added a little bit of gold in places, and I think I added a little bit of silver. It probably doesn't show up on the video because the light is daylight rather than artificial light. This is one that I did with the same flower stencil using a clear paste, but I put a two-tone glitter on the top. And when I say two-tone, I simply mix silver and blue glitter. Why not? I've mixed up various colours to get different effects, and it's a very pretty effect. It would look great on a nice background. One word of caution: if you are using this sort of stuff, try and flatten your stencil afterwards. Use a couple of heavy books or something. I made the mistake of using some temporary adhesive to stick my stencil onto a background and then do some stenciling. Oh dear, this is the result. I've got glitter everywhere, and it doesn't come off easily either, even though it's a temporary adhesive. So don't use anything sticky on the back of your stencil, because the method that I use for my stenciling, I put it on, I put the paste on, I then disregard or just put the stencil out of the way in some warm water, and then I add my glitter. You can of course do your paste, put your glitter over, and then take the whole lot away, but the chances are you'll either mess up the glitter on there, and you will certainly have a lot of glitter on your stencil to clean off, so I don't bother doing it that way. However, if you want a nice clean stencil, just make sure your stencil is flat and you don't have to actually stick it to your card first. That's by far and away the easiest method. So that's how to add some texture. The other thing which is quite interesting to note is that the offcuts from your stencil, if you're using this matte stuff, will make great confetti, if you like, for your shaker cards. So I'm keeping these in this little jar, and I will probably make some more because I'm losing them everywhere, and I think they'll be great for little shaker cards later on. Waste not, want not, as they say. You can also use these if you have an Evolution, Memory Keeper's Evolution embossing gizmo, like I do. You can use this with paper to emboss the design into your paper. It will work quite nicely. You can also use these scattered on the paper to do exactly the same thing if you don't want a regular design, or if you've just got a tiny little bit and you just want a few little embossed bits on it. It works very, very well to provide an embossed image on paper. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a nice textured and glittery Christmas. Bye.